morning. Myself, Manuel, together with Nuri, Nadine, Alex and Priscilla, we as a team will be using 5 quarters model to analyze the digital impact in the hotel industry. And by doing that, we'll be following the structure, explaining what is the hotel industry, going through the analysis in the hotel industry and the impact it has. So you're looking at this, I'm not looking for an answer, but when you see those logos, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? So some people may say accommodation, while other people may refer it as business meetings. So it's clearly that the same industry has a different impact on different consumers. So here we have chosen 5 quarters models because you see the intensity of rivalry being one of them, the key competitive factors in the industry. So I'll be passing on to Priscilla who go through the other forces.
Thank you, Manuel. Now we just have a look into the threats of substitute products, and the thing that we must consider at this stage is that the products competing is not only the products in the same industry, but also the products that perform the same functionality. Also, we have to consider in threats of new entrants that is it your industry that easy to assess? Is it viable to enter this industry? Is this cost advantage in that? How many barriers is into that? Okay, so now I'm going to pass on to Alex.
Thank you, Priscilla. So just following what Priscilla just said, the other 2 forces that Porter's model considers is bargaining power of customers and bargaining power of supplier. A good way to understand that is how is the influence of these 2 forces on prices. So another thing is to see this, you can see as a number. So how many options, for example, on the buyer side they have. So if they have if there is many options for them, they would have more power of the industry. The same thing happened to bargaining power. So basically this is the model of Porter's forces. So one thing we just must consider that's the arrows between them. So they are all interrelated. So they have all connection. One can influence each other. But for the purpose of this presentation, we are going to use Porter's model in addition with technology to look at the impact of on business and customers like you and me. I'm just going back to Manuel. He's going to go through the first force.
Thanks, Alex. So rivalry is seen as one of the highest and the strongest force in the model. When coming to business, business face a constant pressure for investment to maintain themselves in the market. Therefore, that investment can lead also to innovation on the business side. And when it comes to the customer side, they'll benefit from the speed of process. For example, so I have chosen Trivago as an example for today, where customers of different areas can have the same room offered at different prices in different locations. And on the business side, business can reinforce partnerships with transfers from the hotel to the airport, as well as insurance companies, and customers, on the other hand, can get a better deal at the end of it. I will now passing on to Alex.
To me again. Thanks, Manu. So the other force is bargaining power of buyers. So when we think about technology, it has been a big impact on customers' side. So thanks to the fast way of transportation, nowadays customer has a wide range of destinations with putting pressure the hotel industry. Apart from that, now customer has the power of giving reviews, online reviews, for example, when they can influence in the decision making of new customers. On the business side, the technology is put on pressure on them, so the hotel industry has to have a fast response for any issue that the customer may have, and also is a good way of promoting themselves. Now I'm passing on to Priscilla.
Thank you, Alex. So looking again at threats of new entrants, we could consider that this is a medium intensity. Even though there are plenty of data collection, it's much easier to assess the information before entering this market. You can actually access so much easier than before. However, on the other hand, there are plenty of barriers still, so we can say that this is moderate, not so easy to enter. And the customer side, we can say that if there are more options, there are more entries, there are more options for them, therefore price might fall. Okay, so I'll pass on now to Nadine.
Hi, thanks to digital technology in 21st century, the internet has made the bargaining power of suppliers more and more, because there is a lot of access on the internet, and the hotel industry, they can choose directly from the specific websites. The suppliers have a more power if they are in numbers they are short. When we talk about B2B, it's like it's cutting the middleman between the buyers and the suppliers. So it applies only onto the small businesses, because they can directly contact to the suppliers, which can give them a good price of retention. And sometimes the suppliers, they reduce their quality and services to increase their prices. So I would like to pass on to Neri, so she can emphasize more.
So, as Priscilla explained before about the substitutes, so the substitutes are the products and services which they can be produced or provided by another industry. How they are going to impact on the business and the customers? We can see that the mainstreams of the hotels, their accommodation incomes, also the conferences and the events which they are organizing, like anniversaries, Christmas parties, also private parties in the hotel. Nowadays we can see that the companies are just trying to cut the costs as much as possible, and they are more aware of the time management. So what they are trying to do, they are trying to get into the video conferencing, because in the different locations they can just do the setup for their employees, and it's not necessary to gather together in a hotel for any meetings or for any other reason. So they just can do video conferencing about it. The other thing, before it was about the parties which they want to organize, usually it's for the corporate guests. Before they had to go to the catering companies to spend a lot of time there explaining what they want. It was taking time negotiating exactly their requirements. Nowadays the catering companies, they went online, and it's very easy to set up everything, even not facing the person or not writing to a person, just to set their requirements online, and it would be done with the service and the food as well. Also we can see that the private bookings, they are going more to Airbnb platform, where they can rent off their private properties to people. That thing, of course, impacts on the customers. They are more flexible with their social life, they are more flexible with their working hours. They do have a wider range of choices nowadays. And the impact on the competition advantage, we can see that 5 of them, all of them, they're impacting the competition advantage of the business. When they're low, that means that the competition advantage of the company is higher, and when they're getting higher, then the competition advantage of the companies decreases. So for the conclusion part, I will pass to Alex.
Thank you very much, Neri. So basically, as a conclusion, we can see that competition is the driving force for the all porters forces and for the hotel industry. One thing we noticed that the technology is being used to gain more competitive advantage. So what is technology before was used only for on the business side to improve the efficiency, now is using for improving the quality of the services. So this is the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for being here.